What if I told you that within the animal kingdom there existed a Superman, able to survive the vacuum of space, to go months or years without food or water, to shrug off radiation dosages that would kill an elephant, at a size almost smaller than you could see with the naked eye? Today, we're learning about tardigrades. Also known as water bears or moss piglets, these organisms, even if they might not look it, are one of the hardiest alive. High temperatures, low temperatures, high pressures, low pressures, dehydration, lack of food, extreme radiation, and the vacuum of space do not harm them. And yet many of the mechanisms behind their abilities have yet to be fully uncovered, leading tardigrades to be quite an organism of interest to scientists. Taxonomically speaking, tardigrades, from tardigradas, which means slow-paced, are thought to share a common heritage with arthropods and onychophora, a class of animals similar to worms. Although we have examples of tardigrade fossils dating back to the mid-Cambrian from deposits in Siberia, and a few specimens preserved in amber dating back to the Cretaceous, the selective pressures that led to the evolution of such a versatile and resistant organism are currently still unknown. What's especially intriguing to us about the mystery of the tardigrade is that
they can make a living anywhere on Earth, with frigid peaks of the tallest mountains, cauldrons of erupting volcanoes, and the deep ocean vents at the bottom of the sea. Tardigrades are so tough, they can survive naked in the vacuum of space.
because the tardigrade is able to survive the temperature and vacuum of space, it has been conjectured that under the right circumstances they might be able to survive long-term on an asteroid or comets. Proof of this could possibly confirm panspermia, the hypothesis that life spreads throughout the universe by extremophiles such as tardigrades, surviving on asteroids or space dust, and then colonizing habitable planets that they land on. The source of most of the resilience that the tardigrades possess is that they are able to go into what is essentially a dormant state, where they become extremely dehydrated and their metabolism slows to 0.01% of normal. They do this by producing a sugary gel called trehalose, which substitutes the water in the cytoplasm of a cell. When this sugar is produced, the tardigrade dehydrates itself and goes into a state known as cryptobiosis. They can stay in this state without water for up to 10 years. While in this state, the tardigrades also begin to express certain genes in their genome, which make them more resistant to things such as certain forms of radiation. Looking at the genome of tardigrades reveals several other interesting abilities. An experiment published in the journal Nature Communications, which analyzed the genome of tardigrades, showed, quote, loss of gene pathways that promote stress damage, expansion of gene families related to ameliorating damage, and evolution and high expression of novel tardigrade unique proteins. Essentially, this species of tardigrade has evolved to experience less damage due to stress and to have better ability to mitigate and heal damage to themselves. Among the aforementioned unique proteins the tardigrade has is one which protects its DNA from damage to X-rays. Most interestingly, when the protein was inserted into human cultured cells in the lab, upon being exposed to high levels of X-ray radiation, the cells treated with the protein experienced up to 40% less damage to their genome than the control. With more research, it's possible that other proteins in tardigrades might have similar effects on human cells and might find practical applications in medicine.